Hello everyone. Governments around the world were trying to move away from the gold standard since 1970s. Gold's ability to impose financial responsibility is incompatible with money printing agenda facilitated by use of paper money. But as everything else in life, easy money come with a price tag, devaluation of the currency and eventual collapse. It is not an exaggeration, no paper currency lasted forever. It always ends in a same predicament, loss of value. But is there another way? Zimbabwe's economy has been suffering from rampant inflation for the last 40 years. After all these years and few waves of hyperinflation accompanied by many unsuccessful attempts to stabilize the local currency, Zimbabwean government attempted something unexpected and revolutionary. Here is a clip from Reuters.
Proudly on display in Zimbabwe, the country's new gold coins. The Mosi Oatunya coin, named after the iconic Victoria Falls, is intended as a store of value to tame runaway inflation.
Will it be a successful blueprint for combating inflation in other countries? Will it start a trend? Let's talk. Zimbabwe's issuance of the gold coins was making rounds around world media lately. For a casual observer, this is a very ordinary event. But there is something very unusual and maybe even groundbreaking in this announcement. In the case of Zimbabwe, we are talking about officially backed gold standard. We will explore the implications in a bit. Gold and silver sovereign coins are not a new invention. U.S. Mint produced gold eagles since 1980s, and most major governments issue precious metal coins. Now, even though American eagles are a legal tender in U.S., using it at its nominal face value of $50 is hardly a good idea. Current price for this coin is almost $1,800. I think this mismatch between face value and a real value is not an accident. Use of gold and other precious metals as currency is clearly discouraged. Governments wouldn't want a competition to its paper money pyramid schemes. So what makes Zimbabwe gold coin special? Let me read the official statement. Right out of the gate. To introduce gold coins into the market as a store of value, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe wishes to advise the public of the salient features and characteristics of the gold coin. In this first paragraph of its official statement, Central Bank of Zimbabwe makes a point that this new instrument is a store of value and is designed for general public. Let's talk about the situation that led up to this measure. Zimbabwe entered an era of hyperinflation in 2007. Everyone saw $100 billion banknotes on the news as official month-to-month rate of inflation reached 80 billion%. It is hard to believe, but this was a real number until the government stopped official reporting altogether. In April 2009, Zimbabwe stopped printing its currency, and currencies from other countries were used. In mid-2015, Zimbabwe announced plans to have completely switched to the United States dollar by the end of that year. In 2019, the Zimbabwean government announced the reintroduction of the real-time gross settlement dollar, to be known simply as the Zimbabwe dollar, and that all foreign currency was no longer legal tender. By mid-July 2019, or 2 months later, inflation of that newly created currency had increased to 175%. In March 2020, inflation was again above 500%, and by July 2020, annual inflation was estimated to be 737%. Issuance of gold coin by the Central Bank of Zimbabwe is seen as a desperate attempt to provide some stability in the economy. The timing is not random. With the strong dollar, many developing countries will be pressed to de-dollarize or default. The costs of running economies based on US dollar might be very hard to maintain. We will see a lot of sovereign economy collapses in the months to come, unless US tries to lower the dollar. But as long as inflation in US is raging, I do not see any incentive for the Federal Reserve to intervene. Strong dollar, while harming US exporters, lowers cost of imports and thus decreasing inflationary pressure in US. Giving the political pressure on Fed right before US midterm elections, and since US import is a lot smaller than export, I think strong dollar is seen as a lesser evil in US. So apparently Zimbabwe have come to the same conclusions and is trying to replace the dollar with gold. Official reports continue. The coin will have liquid asset status, that is, it will be capable of being easily converted to cash and will be tradable locally and internationally. The coin may also be used for transactional purpose. The last sentence is important. They present it as a means of exchange in the economy, meaning they are promoting it as a money. You can also infer to this intent by a type of alloy they used. It is 22-karat gold, similar to US gold eagle. This alloy makes coins more durable and more suitable for circulation. Another indication that this coin is meant for wide circulation is the following bullet point from the press release. Prescribed asset status. The coin will have prescribed asset status and institutional investors can use it to meet regulatory requirements for prescribed asset investments. Collateral. The coin can be used as security for loans and credit facilities. It basically tells us that financial institutions can use it for all legal purposes. Insurance companies and banks can use this coin and to conduct official business, like paying taxes. Population can also use this as a form of payment for any government task. There is a restriction for the local banks on ownership of these gold coins. Local banking institutions shall not be allowed to buy Muzio Atunya gold coins for own portfolios up until such a time as the Reserve Bank may grant the permission. Thus, for the time being, banks can only receive the coins from the Reserve Bank for onward selling to their customers on behalf of the Reserve Bank. Apparently, Central Bank of Zimbabwe prefers to promote the use of these coins among the population, at least initially. I would speculate that they wouldn't want banks to hoard gold and keep it out of circulation. First release is limited to 2,000 coins, so supply is limited. It all basically designed to give this gold coin an official recognition and support to replace use of US dollars in the wide economy. Now there is a big problem. Divisibility. Most of the people in Zimbabwe are poor and will not be able to afford the 1-ounce coin. Besides, it is fine to use gold coins to pay for a large purchase, but what if you need to pay for a grocery? In its press release, Central Bank notes that 1-ounce denomination is a for now situation, implying there will be more denominations available. It does make sense. But there is another item that I would see as a hindrance to the free circulation and by extension for the viable gold standard economy. Each coin has a serial number and a certificate. If you want to sell your coin back to the central bank, you are required to present this certification. I can see the reasoning for attempting to control the amount of gold in circulation. Zimbabwe has a large private gold mining sector. And it is mostly an unregulated industry with private individuals mining in a small mines and smuggling gold out of the country without any trace. But if the government is really intending to build a gold financial infrastructure, they will have to liberalize the use of gold coins in circulation. Any restriction will stunt the use of gold as currency. I can see Zimbabwean government clamping down on illegal gold mining and enforcing a monopoly on minting coins, but it's too early to say. For now it does look like a positive development for gold. If this experiment takes hold and survives, it will demonstrate that gold-based economy is possible, despite all the propaganda telling us how archaic gold as currency is. We have to remember, banks' monopoly on printing money is a huge business boon, enshrined in local laws to enrich few. Banks use government to enforce their monopoly on money printing. No one is talking about it, but if not for a debt-based system that benefits few banks, we would have had money that appreciate in value over time and not the other way around. As we all know, productivity makes goods and services cheaper and cheaper, making your anti-inflationary money, like gold, worth more. But gold, as money, would mean the death for the debt-based system, which is based on inflation, and that would leave a lot of banks out of business. So I think we will continue to see pundits and so-called experts from mainstream media to tell us about impossibility of use of gold as money. So for what is worth, I wish Zimbabwe best of luck in its attempt to build a radically new financial system, a new gold standard. If they succeeded, we all win. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. Until next time.